Hey guys, if you didn't know, the second half of the Sunshine Garden has just been released. As per usual, I'm going to kind of go through a couple things. I did miss a few things in my last guide that I had originally thought that there wasn't as much optimization as there actually was. And then after discussing with a couple other content creators, people in the community, I found out that there was a lot more optimization to be had. So I'm making this video to kind of just go over my thoughts, my tips, and I guess what the second half of the Sunshine Garden, which now includes, I guess, like the dark cycle, has to offer. I'm just going to skip through some of the tutorials if you're not familiar with what happens. Basically, once you unlock Garden level 10, which by the way, you aren't guaranteed. If you haven't already gotten to Garden level 10 by this point, you need to keep up. Otherwise, you won't have access to the night cycle. That being said, the night cycle, from what I understand, is just 5 fights. It's 5 fights that should be autoable. From other members that I've seen try out the content and beat the content, they use the normal fodder team and they kind of just cleared through it. It's nice rewards. It's a little bit of a change. If you want to try and do it manually, that's fine as well. However, I wanted to give my first impressions of the event as I approach it. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything in between me skipping through tutorials or me trying to record content or me doing other stuff. So let's get through it. Okay, we have to select a team. This one costs energy, unlike the other side story or the rest of the side story, which in exchange, I'm assuming for, you know, taking no energy, it takes a lot more commitment to play because it doesn't cost any energy, obviously, and there's no time gate. Okay, Shepherd Jenna is saying that we have to use some plants. The higher the level of the plants in Sunshine Garden, the greater help we can expect in battle. Okay, so we need to grow some of these plants and they will give us bonus effects. Okay, so something that I was kind of hinted towards, or I was kind of given an explanation to, is that in some of the fights, one of your allies will turn into a mushroom or it'll turn into a plant. So if you want, you can put like one of your more useless characters in the front. I personally, you can't really see it behind here, but I have an unrecorded history fast team that has free spiritaria, which everyone has, but then I have characters like Commander Pavel, and I have my other characters that I want to friendship farm with. We'll see if that's enough. Let's find out. Let's see if there's anything particularly difficult. Again, I'm just going to run it through with auto, see if anything changes. The answer is no. Okay, this is completely farmable. At least the first stage that I see right now doesn't look to even be like a challenge. This is just it getting one. Is that the whole challenge? So the first Twilight Garden stage just looked like a joke. It didn't really look like I had to change anything whatsoever. I literally hit with 2 characters, Commander Pavel one-shot it. If you want, I'm assuming if this is going to be the trend for everything, or if this is going to be how things are, it's just going to cost 8 energy, and you're just going to clear it in 2 seconds. Use whatever character you'd like. You could use Biblis here too. Biblis looks like a great pick. Look at the damage. Nice. Wow, we have a use for Biblis. Thank you for the emergency buff, Biblis. Wow, yay, perfect. Okay, I'm assuming that this mark right here, I didn't see that mark, but I'm assuming that if you take too long in the fight, one of these characters will turn into a mushroom. However, I think we only have access to 1 to 5 at the moment. Fury Gaze. Yep, okay. Okay, perfect. Wow, so Biblis, okay, so they obviously designed Biblis and or Litica, I'm assuming, once her character comes out for like this kind of content. Biblis, a lot of the characters end up countering, which is great, so that you do more damage, and then, you know, or you have like a reason to use Biblis. Now you do more damage, you have the defense break, you have the heal. I'm assuming that's what the idea behind this side story is. They want you to, oh, guys, look, you can use Biblis in, you know, Biblis in some PvE, which is, okay, let's be honest. This is, if I'm gonna pull for Biblis to do like 5 stages of like this like pseudo abyss, I probably got some better uses for my time. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Okay, congratulations. We have Do Noctis, and everything was gonna blow up anyways. Cool. The stages will presumably scale up as we get further and further, but at least for these first 5 stages, they're a joke. Nothing is even happening. I have Rowana, I guess, for protection set, but there's no debuffs. There isn't anything super scary. Okay, there is now Litica. I don't know what Litica is going to do for this fight. I don't know if it's going to be easier or worse. Let's get into it. Okay. Okay. This Litica has 200,000 health. All right. I don't know what the parameters for this fight are, but that does not look very good. Okay, so maybe stage 5 is the first fight where you have to... Okay, never mind. Okay, maybe you have to try a little bit. You might not be able to auto this. Oh my gosh, I'm doing so much damage. Did I just do 60,000 damage? Okay, well, maybe you don't need to focus too much. I initially saw the health of Blooming Litica, and it looked, I guess, really intimidating. I don't know what the threshold you have to hit is for. You know what? Maybe I don't end this fight. Let me take a look. What does the debuff say? Process to turn into a plant. Does it say? Process to turn into a plant. Okay, so when you have 5 stacks of the plant, or when you have 5 stacks, or when this number turns to 5, these plants, I guess, or these characters turn into plants. Thankfully, we're not going to hit that. I think we're just going to one-shot it right now. Bang, bang, boom. Perfect. Okay. As you can see, the stages basically have no mechanics, or the mechanics are fairly easy. I'm assuming that the point of this Twilight Garden is so that you're able to do it on earlier accounts or beginner accounts. From what I could tell, so long as you have a defense break, if you have Iseria, or if you have any character that has defense break, maybe like one of the Aidens, you could defense break here. You could also probably use a character like Clury for the defense break and kind of just go to town onto this boss. Alternatively, if you have characters like Apoc Ravi, or if you have, you know, your Meteor Cowrix, I'm sure this will also be good enough as well. I had an AoE damage dealer in the Free Spirit Tieria and the Commander Pavel, who obviously got to proc a little bit. Aside from that, I don't think any of these fights were particularly hard. I'm pretty sure what we were actually supposed to do was go to this part, and I'm like fairly certain that I was supposed to upgrade or unlock these plants so that I could get bonus effects in the fights. But then I just didn't get the bonus effects of the fights because they were so easily clearable. I don't know if that's a mistake on Smilegate's part. However, let's just kind of go through the new things that we've unlocked as you hit level 10. The first thing is increasing all warm light sunlight production by 500% for 5 minutes. If you aren't familiar with what warm sunlight is, unlike the hearts that give you bonuses, these plants in the background that you've been probably unlocking are the more like AFK source, or the AFK system of Sunshine Garden. And if you're going to go AFK, or if you were going to spend more time like looking at other things and you don't want to click on the hearts directly, this new skill that we have, Operate Sprinklers, will increase production by 500% for 5 minutes. It is on a 12-hour cooldown. I don't really see a reason not to press it, to be honest. Maybe you could argue using it if you got more upgrades and then you got more plants upgraded. Maybe it's more bang for your buck there, but that's a lot of min-maxing for, I think, not a lot of effort. If you just want to press the button, you can just press the button. If I'm not mistaken, we have a decent amount of time before we unlock the new adventure. There is also a new adventure if you're not familiar with that as well. Stage 10, which is Closed Doorway, is now open. You can clear through all these, go up to 18, I believe. And I think the next time that we can activate or enter into a new activity, yeah, so end of year festival should be in about 13 days. I think that's more than enough time, in all honesty, to, number one, catch up if you haven't already caught up. But number two, to clear out the stores or clear out all the different side story things that we've been given. I do just want to say, before I get too deep in the whole rambling of things and seeing what things work or don't work, we aren't actually sure what Blooming Litica will do for the side story. It isn't known if she's going to take the place of Fire Litica, if she's going to open up and be in her own slot, if you're going to have more manager slots, if you're going to have to replace the Litica, because technically speaking, they're the same character in the story. I don't know how that's going to work. However, at least right now, it hasn't been announced what these characters or what the character Blooming Litica will do for the side story event. The only thing that we can kind of hypothesize is that with Biblis, since she was a character we had to pull, she has like a bonus effect. I believe she gets like a special, I think it's either 2 times or like sometimes a multiplied amount of the sunshine that you gain, or like the hearts that you gain when you click on her. So if Litica ends up being the same, that could be a reason for you maybe to pull for her, or that's like kind of a nice thing, I guess, that you could get out of pulling her. However, if you were on the fence about pulling her because you wanted to do something else and you don't care about whether a character is limited or not, this is an activity that doesn't look too time investy. It looks honestly like Smilegate is trying to give us an activity that we can do during the holidays that won't make us play too actively or too, you know, like brain intensively. The garden management or the nighttime management fights that we have to do look pretty simple. And although you could argue, oh, like Smilegate, how come these are too easy? And people in general have been asking for harder fights. It's the holidays. This is an event that's specifically going throughout the holidays. I'm sure that's not what they wanted. The final thing that I do want to kind of make note of is that the new max level that we can receive, or at least for the meantime that we can level up to, is 14. So that means that you will be able to upgrade, I believe, or unlock up to the Oblivia. And for the facilities, you now have access to the rest area. Just in case if you forgot or aren't familiar with exactly what the plants or facilities do, both of them contribute to your total level, which allows you to unlock new upgrades, buy new plants, and buy new rest area, or buy new facilities and stuff like that. But ultimately, what you're kind of looking for is the rewards, or you should be kind of considering, or I guess if you're trying to like min-max a little bit, you should be trying to see what you need or what you're looking for from the garden journal. Alternatively, if you really want to min-max your activity, all you should really be doing is focusing on like clicking on the hearts and accepting all this like random warm sunlight in the background as you get it. However, with the new changes to scrolling, it shouldn't be too difficult to just put all the characters in like the corner. So even if it takes a little bit more effort on your part, it is not that hard to scroll through like the page anymore. As you can see it, very nice change from Smilegate. Ultimately, I also would have liked them to like, I don't know, be able to be put in a seat or something, but I'm sure the point of like picking up the characters and the point of them moving is that you have to play them a little bit, or is that you have to play the game a little bit more actively. You want them to be able to get picked up, and they have all the cute lines, one of which I'll play right now.
Oh, please forgive me.
That is such it.
Where are we going?
These are like honestly the cutest lines that EpicSeven has pretty much ever, I think, put into like a side story PvE event. But anyways, guys, that's kind of it for the general. Overview of week 2. If you didn't know as well, there's some like mild things that you could do to make your experience a little bit easier. As I mentioned before, collecting the hearts will be the best way to complete this event as quickly as possible. However, given that we have 13 days, it's not supposed to be that super active, and now we have stuff like this operate sprinklers.
Listen to the flowers sing. They must be in a good mood.
It doesn't look like you need to spend too much time on the game. Ultimately, though, I will admit that I did have to spend a decent amount of time, maybe 2 to 3 hours, manually trying to catch up from level 7, I believe, to level 9 for the start of this event. That being said, though, we still have 13 days. I'm not sure if the exponential nature of this event will make it so that you'll be able to clear faster. But as it is right now, if you want to keep up, make sure to do the hearts. Otherwise, just kind of log in periodically every maybe 3 to 6 hours to make sure you don't cap. Maybe use some of your activities or use some of your, your special abilities. And make sure to do the new side story stages because they give you good rewards. Anyways, guys, though, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry, I'm clicking through my hearts because I don't want to miss out on anything. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Make sure to check out the rest of my socials. Discord, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, etc. And as always, make sure to like, comment, turn on the notification bell, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this event. Hope you guys are caught up, or you guys have, some resources to pull for Litica, who's coming out very soon. But as always, guys, my name is Connor. I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.